Hi, this is Maladaptive. I'm going to do a video that's a bit different than usual. I want to kind of walk you guys through the process of making a photo in order to help get you some tips, and by doing it I'm going to start with a photo but basically I'm going to start with the rough sketch thumbnail-esque thing. This definitely isn't the final rough sketch, but this is me getting my ideas down for what this photo should be. There are some things that I want to kind of demonstrate to you that I kept in mind in this project. So the idea for this is, it was a scene from a comic of mine once that I never got this far, but you know, maybe one day. Right now, the main character is focal point right here. He is in an underwater location, like an underwater building. I don't know how to describe it. And it has a glass wall, obviously, as you can see. And it is actually located in some of the deeper depths of the ocean. Currently where he is, there's a light fixture at the top, and it shines its light down this way. And because of that, he has lights here, 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 here. And the light fixture, since it takes up the whole building that he's in, will also reflect off of this dashing lady right here. So her lighting is going to be coming straight forward onto her. So you can see some on the tail, because the tail actually kind of goes that way, it goes behind and it comes out. So, like that. The light's also going to be on her hands right here, which are coming towards the glass. It's going to be right here and kind of fade as it goes that way. Of course, it's going to be right here, haha. And it's going to be on the front of her hair and face as well. But for him, it's going to mostly be coming down there. And of course, since the floor isn't just a vacuum that absorbs all light, there's going to be some reflecting light. So it'll come from the floor, and then it will reflect and reflect. That's going to be in post. You won't really see it yet. He's going to have significantly more reflecting light than she does, because since she is in the deep blue sea, far past where any light can reach, she's not going to have too much that's going to reflect off her. Maybe if I want to, I can do some reflecting light from these rocks here, but it's going to be light that reflects from this light up here and goes out of the glass walls. For shadowing, I just followed where the lighting is. Well, I guess where the lighting would make shadows appear. So since it's coming straight down from him, it's going to be down here. It's going to be between his leggies, but also since there is reflecting light, I need to add some lights right here. It's going to be here, beneath his arms. Since his head is looking upwards, actually, the light's going to be on the back portion right here. Or the shadows, not light. The shadows for her, since forward is where the light is, are going to be behind her. So you can see I did that with the shadowing here, the shadowing where her hair starts to go backwards, or I guess move that way, shadowing to her backside. I stylistically chose that the outside would have dark here, and then get lighter as it goes inwards. This is actually, I guess it's more than stylistic if you think about it, because if you know how, like, I don't know what it's called, I guess, like, whenever you look in the distance, typically the distance is lighter than the things in the foreground, because there's something about, like, it's like a light mist or a light fraction thing. It ends up making it to where things begin to blend into the background color. So I might change that later on, depending on if I feel it looks realistic enough to what I'm trying to go for, but I think stylistically this will be the best choice to have the light all be right here. And then, as you can see, it kind of helps the synchronicity of the image, because the light's here in the image, and it gets darker as you go out here, and it's just like true for all elements here except for the flooring, which maybe I'll be a little rebellious enough and make some of the flooring here gradient from dark to light. Now, with all that explained, I can get on to the next part of the image, which is actually the base colors. Alright, now you can see the base colors. For this, I actually have them in different folders here. So, I typically don't name them because I'm a mess. It would be smart to name them so you know exactly what you're going for, but the first layer is the man in the front. Second layer is the mermaid. Third is the foreground. And fourth is the background. I still have the sketch layer underneath. I think I might actually bring that up to the top like this, and then put it on, I'll put multiply, so that I can see the sketch that I did, and it'll help me for the next step, which is going to be the details. Now, I will say for the base colors, I'm actually doing the base colors as they would be true to life, specifically for the foreground. I didn't do the true to life colors for the background because I just wanted it to pop and be blue as I possibly can in order to fit the mood. But whenever I start doing the shadowing and the lighting, that's when the colors in the foreground are gonna start, they're gonna start kind of reacting to the environment that's around them. You'll see what I mean in a bit, but for now I'm gonna start working on the details. Alright, so now all the fine details are made. Just going to show you guys real quick. There's some fine detailing on the man in front, specifically on the jacket, the shoes, and stuff to show the difference in his fingers as well as some stuff on his ears. Also put detailing on the folder here. Some writing as well as some stuff to make the folder more, I guess, lifelike. That's the word I'm using. Most of the detail actually went on the mermaid. I did the dots right here to give her some kind of pattern. Later on I'm going to make them glow and it's going to be pretty cool. I also did her little splotchy pattern here, as well as I separated her fingers and her fins and her hair. I also emphasized her breast because she needs mammary glands in order to feed her fish babies tartar sauce. And now that these fine detailings is done, I can go in and do more of the, I guess, I don't want to say broad detailing, but the base shading, the transitional colors in the shading. It won't be the main hard shading, but it will be something to give it some extra flavor. Alright, it's starting to come together. We have the base shading down, so now it's time to do the hard shading. This is going to be accomplished by using the cell pen and using a textured brush in order to get this hard light effect. So I ended up making a few edits whenever I was doing the shading. Like, I made the man taller because he was looking a little small there, and I ended up adding these two beams so that the glass separating them would seem more, I guess, structured, and also to give a little bit more flair. It also kind of leads the guiding line. It's like a line of view. I don't have words for art vocabulary, okay? So being an artist is not about knowing words, it's about knowing concepts. So the eye is guided upwards in this photo. It is guided upwards because the man is looking up at her, but also now the beams are kind of giving this a vertical image. So now that I've done that, I'm actually going to go in and make the shading and the lighting again, but I'm going to do a different thing this time. It's going to give the whole image a different change of tone. In Photoshop, what you would use is the burn tool and the color dodge, but I'm using Saya for this, so it's going to be a blue layer on shade. We're gonna lower the opacity. Wow, that is blue. I'm kind of debating on what I should do for the front, because the front right here is certainly going to be influenced by the blues of the outside, but I don't really know how much exactly, since it does have its own light source, which I think Lumosity will take care of. We shall see. I'm going to change the blue a bit, see if one of them works better. I should probably just do hue and saturation for this. I don't want any of these blues, I want a more deep blue, but not too green. This is looking nice. Saturation. Good lighting. So what this is the hue and saturation bar. You can do Control U, or just go to the Effects tab. Not sure. Maybe more saturation. I will stick with this for now. Ended up turning out more green. Alright, so for the lighting, it is going to be on the luminosity layer. Luminosity. It's going to be that bright layer. So how that's going to look, I'm just going to do a quick, quick brush real quick. You have to lower the opacity. Oh my gosh. Oh wowie. Look how pretty that is. Oh my gosh. Okay, yes. Yes. So what I'm doing is oh, it's so pretty. I'm using yellow for this because the lighting coming from the ceiling, which is going to be the lighting of the, I guess it's a light bulb, you know, or it's very mechanical, it's very industrial, it's not organic. Even though a lot of lighting coming from outside would also be yellow, but this is like a yellow tinted light bulb kind of thing. Let's see what happens if I make it more of an orange yellow. Ooh. Which one do I like more? Maybe orange. Nah, okay, so the orange yellow seems like it would be more for outside lighting. But stark yellow. Wow, I really like this. But also, we may have the lighting from the top like this. We're going to have lighting reflecting from the bottom, and it's going to kind of carry some of the color that the bottom has whenever it reflects. Ooh. So it's going to probably be a blue color. What kind of blue really depends. The reflected lighting should be darker than the color that you used for the top lighting. I'm going to use a duller blue for this. I think this is perfect. This one's beautiful. Most of it's going to be down here and reflecting off this, so you're not going to get too much of it over here, unfortunately. It's just going to be over where the walls would reflect off of her. But, of course, this big old stain over here is not going to be how the image turns out. So now I'm going to start adding the lighting to areas where the lighting needs to be, and if I feel that the shading is too distracting, I'll probably try and see if I can minimize it. Alright, so at this point I've done mostly all I can when it comes to the lights and the shadows. It is pretty interesting, I'd say, but there are a few details I think I could improve upon, so I'm going to just have this last bit be me adding in extra details as I see them. There isn't going to be any like cohesive skill I'm using or any like specific set of things that I'm adding. It's just going to be what I see when I see it, and that should be the final rendering of the piece. And after hodgepodging basically anything I could think of together and combining it into this one interesting image, we are all finished. Typically I've learned finished means if you go any further, you've overdone your photo. So knowing when to stop is a good strategy. Well, thank you for watching and sticking through this video. I hope you learned something from this kind of makeshift tutorial that I've put together. I've explained a process that I use, not necessarily all of my processes, but you could learn something from this, which is nice.